Okay, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking apart this tower fan. This is something that I found in the garbage. Somebody was throwing it away, as happens a lot, and I would say most of the time when they're throwing it away it doesn't work. But there is about 10% of the time things work perfectly fine, and it's a mystery as to why they were thrown away. This doesn't fall in that category. This one definitely does not work. This is a company called Pelonis. I've never heard of it, but is definitely not one of the big main brands, or maybe it is and somehow I didn't find out about that. But it is broken. Let's see. So I have it plugged in, and if you turn it on, you can hear a little bit of a hum, aside from my air conditioner in the background. But definitely having issues. None of the speeds work. Oscillation doesn't work. Timer, that might even be the problem if there's a circuit through there. But it's all mechanical, so there's no solid state components, so there's a good chance that might be able to bypass something and get it to just come on. If the motor is still good, which should be down there in the bottom. But this will show a good representation of how these tower fans are put together. So it looks to me, all I see here on the back, I see these couple little covers. I'm not sure what those are. They might be screw covers. So there might be some screws back there. But otherwise I don't see any screws other than all the way up underneath, but I think that's just holding the stand on. I really think that the whole main part of the body is snapped together, which is no problem either. I'm pretty good at getting those snaps apart, and so the next scene will probably be this all apart, and we'll start taking a look at this switching system and see if that's the issue. So be right back. So yeah, those definitely were screw covers. There you go, you can see the screws there. So undoing those screws is probably going to let that whole panel on the back come completely off, and we'll have access to everything. So that's what I'll do next. Okay, and so that is the way it came apart. There was actually a couple of screws in the bottom as well, right up through there and there, that were holding the bottom side of it in, but otherwise it was a bunch of clips. And now that we've got all those off, we've got access to everything. And we'll start here at the bottom. What you got down in there, right down in there, that is a little AC motor. Sorry if you're not able to see that well. I might take this part farther down. And that's on, it's got a little lever there, and that's connected to the base. And what that will do is that is your what do you call it, oscillation, where the whole thing would be turning back and forth according to what that little AC motor is doing on that lever. And all that mess of grease there sloshing around. Okay, and moving up, there of course is your big fan motor that will spin the fan. And it is spinning nice and freely. And there are your fan blades. That's the way it works on a tower fan. Kind of more like a, well, I'm not going to say turbine, but those are your fans. So those are your fan blades. As they spin around, they blow the air out. And I believe I'm turning it the right way. But even if this thing doesn't work, boy, you want to get that out of there, because it seems like there's all kinds of things you could use that for. That looks pretty neat. Anyway, moving up. Okay, so there's the back side of the timer. Say if you want the fan to be blowing for 30 minutes or an hour or something like that, it will shut off at the end of that timer. And then under there, you have the back side of those button switches. And the oscillation button right there. Turning the oscillation on and off. And I'm looking just briefly. All the connectors look pretty good. And so it's going to take a little more detective work to find out exactly what's wrong with this. Ultimately, since the oscillation's not working and the motor's not working, we're looking at a total power loss. So that is going to point towards those, well, I don't know. It's a little too early to tell, but definitely I'm thinking the motor's not getting power at all. So it'll just be a moment. I'll take this apart further and see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. But I doubt that it's a matter of both motors burning up, because it's be odd for them both to not be working. So we'll see if we can figure this out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I've done, I've just taken a quick look around and tugged on some wires and pushed on some wires and just hoping for bad contact. And I also tested the timer contact there just in case the entire timer is bad. I bridged that gap hoping that it was going to just come on, but it did not. So it is leaving me not knowing what's wrong with this. Of course, the ultimate problem would be that the motor's burned up. Now I of course can test that straight by pulling it out of there, and the connection is in the back. But I can pull it out of there and connect it straight to the power. I don't see a transformer offhand, so I'm guessing it's straight 120. Probably an AC motor. Anyway, that's something I'm not going to do. I would determine how to do that properly if I was going to do that, because as it turns out, we already have a tower fan and we don't necessarily need this one, so we're going to probably leave it like it is. And my autistic boy loves to spin this thing. Actually, so do I. Spin it manually like that because it's just fun. And so that's how I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it exactly like this with the cover off. I'm not sure where we're going to put it, but probably on the back porch or something like that. And you can just spin that all day long to his heart's content. And that's what it'll be now. So that is going to do it for this one. But what I'm going to be doing here soon is, if you recall us unboxing our big Lasco tower fan, I'm going to be taking that one apart here soon. There's nothing wrong with it, but what I can see inside of the front vents is that this big tunnel style fin unit is not in that Lasco fan. There's nothing in there. They're doing it a different way, and I must get in there and see how they did it. So when I do that, that'll be coming up soon, probably within the next week, and I'll put it side by side right next to this one to show the difference between the way they make the airflow. So that's coming up soon, so stay tuned, and that will wrap it up for this one. I'm leaving it with the big question, I don't know, I guess it's broken. And that's good enough for me. That'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.